Hello there, brass players. So, if you're still beginning to learn your brass instrument, getting around the whole fingering structure and the air support, you may have forgotten about this guy. This guy is your mouthpiece. Now, you need the mouthpiece in order to be able to play your instrument. It's extremely important. Without it, you don't sound very good. But you really need the mouthpiece in order to resonate through the rest of the instrument. Make that beautiful sound that the instrument is known for. But when you get right down to it, we get so involved when we're first learning an instrument with the slide positions or the fingerings that we forget that this is probably the most important piece of your instrument. And that is because whatever you can accomplish on the mouthpiece, you can accomplish on the instrument. So, today we're going to take a look at how to buzz and how to train your buzzing so that it becomes the strongest part of your musicianship. It's going to be great. So let's start with the basics. How to buzz. Now, buzzing requires a little more than this. You really do have to tighten that up. It's not going to sound very good if you start sounding like a horse. Not going to work. Because you got too much lip vibrating. But it's the same concept. You need to vibrate your lips. You need to make them wiggle back and forth. But you have to do so in a controlled way. So, think about this. Just getting the air to flow through your lips to make them flop around a little bit and vibrate. But then, tighten it up. Just a little bit. Tighten the corners. You don't want air to escape, right? So you tighten it up a little. Like this. Now tighten it up a little bit more. Now you notice I'm starting to run out of sound that I can make. I'm not as floppy. But the sound is getting tighter and more focused. And that's what I gotta focus on. I've got a light on my camera right now. I'm gonna focus my air on that light and see if I can make my embouchure, which is the embouchure, the formation of my mouth, just a little bit tougher, a little bit more focused. So I can go. Oh, I gotta knock that camera over. Oh, there it is. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm probably getting a little dizzy, maybe a little bit out of breath, because I'm focusing so much air to make that sound, and I'm closing off my air passage, trying to get it to focus. So I gotta breathe better. Now, when you breathe, use your diaphragm to breathe. Not your shoulders, not your little bits here, up here in your chest and your back. No. Your diaphragm controls your breathing, because when your diaphragm moves, it moves out of the way of your lungs and it lets you go. You build up all that air. Great. Now we're going to apply that same principle to your buzzing. So we're going to breathe in and now buzz. And when you buzz, you don't just need a mouthpiece. All you need are your lips, your embouchure, the formation of your mouth. Because you're going to buzz, try to keep it as an even tone, one tone, not in and out. Now you're out of air. No. You got to hold on to that air. You got to control how fast it goes out of you. And that will control your buzz. So we're going to go in for 4, breathe in for 4, try to buzz for 4 counts. Keep that tone nice and even. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, breathe. All right. That's a good way to buzz. And that's a great way to start your playing, even before you get to this guy. This is like hardcore push-ups for your lips and your lungs. You got to get them working together. All right? That also means you need to start sitting up straight and standing up straight so your lungs can have room to expand. If you sit like this, You're actually collapsing your lungs and making your diaphragm harder to move. You're really just hurting your playing. So when you breathe in, you can only get that much. So when you buzz, you'll lose it all. Sit up straight, stand up straight, open up those lungs so you can use them, all right? So now, instead of just holding a tone, we're gonna go up and down. We have to make something called a siren. We're gonna go up, try to keep it focused, but focus also on going up and down. Because we can do it here, then we can do it here, and we can do it on the instrument. All right, so here we go. We're gonna breathe in for 4, then out for 4. Try to go up and down. 1, 2, ready? Breathe. All right, now that we've done both of those, we're gonna switch to the mouthpiece and do that same thing. We're gonna focus on a tone, go in for 4, and play a steady tone for as long as you can on those 4 beats of breath. Here we go. Ready? Breathe. When you feel yourself run out of air, breathe. Take your mouth slightly away. Take your mouth slightly away from the mouthpiece. Breathe. And go back to the mouthpiece. Don't get into the bad habit of playing in your mouthpiece. I'm out of air. And dropping your instrument, taking a deep breath, and then trying to find where your lips were. It takes forever, right? Why do that to yourself? Keep it close. Just by lifting your lips a little bit away from the mouthpiece. In fact, a lot of people just leave their top lip already connected and they use their bottom lip to breathe. No problem, right? Then you don't have to move so much to reset your lips. You're adding more work to yourself when you disconnect from the instrument. So now we're going to try that siren. In for 4. 1, 2, ready. Breathe. And that was 12 counts. You should be able to go that long and then breathe. All right, it's very good air training. And then when you put that in the instrument, it should sound a lot stronger because you've already prepped it. You've already done it with just your lips and your mouthpiece. You've done all that heavy lifting, so now the instrument can do the rest of the work for you. And it sounds a lot clearer and cleaner if you've already prepped your mouthpiece. Whereas if you go in cold, it may not sound so good. Sometimes it can, but that's more luck than skill. Now, remember when I said that whatever you do on the mouthpiece, you can do on the instrument. So, what are some things you do on the instrument? Try tonguing. Tonguing, like da 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 da, using your tongue to punctuate your airstream so that you can make separation with the notes without stopping the airflow, instead of going da 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 da. Because that'll make you hyperventilate and then you pass out, and that's no fun. Golly gee willikers. So what you end up doing is you have a constant airstream and your tongue punctuates it. Da 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 da. And what that looks like on a mouthpiece, well, you buzz, but you're cutting into the air just a little bit. Not cutting it off, just cutting into it. So instead of we're going get the picture? Try to do that, but try to focus your air. You're gonna spit a little bit, get over it. Use your finger, focus on that finger, and that's where your air is targeted. And try to punctuate with your tongue. Now you may lose tone a little bit when you're trying this, but the point is to get a mostly consistent note out, get your lips to vibrate, and get your tongue to punctuate the air so you get a little bit of separation. Now try that on the mouthpiece. Instead of get the picture? See the difference? Okay. So, just out of the gate, you've got a straight tone, a siren, you could even go down, and a tonguing exercise. You could use that tonguing with your scales. You could really mess around a lot with your mouthpiece. If you do more messing around in your mouthpiece, you'll be strengthening your lips so that when you play on the instrument, it won't be so tiring. I highly recommend, especially if you are not in a position where you can take an instrument home, to practice on your mouthpiece. Especially in my case, guys, you have your mouthpieces with you. You have mouthpieces all the time. Buzz. Play on your mouthpiece 5 minutes a day. I'm not kidding. 5 minutes a day. Buzz. Really focus on making that sound. Now, I'm not just talking about like, okay, I practiced. Really focus on getting that sound. Those of you that did brass sectional, that 1-2-1 exercise. Hey, you don't have your instrument? So what? You can still practice your fingerings. No excuses. Just because you don't have the instrument, if you have a mouthpiece, you can play, you can practice, you can start to train that mind-instrument connection. Get on it. I'll see you later.